Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Saul's Rhythms podcast. This is episode 3, and I appreciate you tuning in. And each week, I take you behind the scenes on the beats I've been creating, the inspiration, the emotion, and the process. This episode is called The Rise Continues because that's exactly what's happening. I've been leveling up in big time lately, and the latest two beats I dropped prove that. And recently I've been having like cleaner mixes, deeper emotion, and sounds that's evolving with every release. Today we're talking about Paralysis and Evermore. Two very different beats that I created. The one darker and one more intense, the other soft, emotional, and cinematic. Both are a reflection of where I'm at as a producer right now. And yeah, but let's get into it. And as always, feel free to drop a comment, like button, or subscribe if you're feeling the vibe. And yeah, let's get into it now. Hey everybody. So I know I've been off the last couple weeks. I've been busy. Haven't really had time to do any of my podcast, and yeah, so I'm back at it today, and I'm hoping to do as much as I can every Sunday. So yeah, let's get into it. So let's talk about the breakdown of paralysis. This become from a place of emotional stillness, that space where you're not crying or yelling, but you're not okay either. You're just frozen. It's that moment right after something major happens. And your brain is trying to catch up with your heart. The piano, the centerpiece here, slow, cinematic, heavy. It's not dramatic, just to be dramatic. Every note was chosen to reflect emotional weight. Not just sadness, but reflection, regret, confusion. Um, like you're like you're walking through the wreckage of your own thoughts. And I keep the instrumentation simple on purpose. I didn't want to distract from that emotional gravity. But what really sets paralysis apart is that, well, I found a sample loop I thought was really cool. It was like a child laugh. And I heard that, I was like, this would be awesome for this beat I'm trying to make. And I just dropped it in, and it worked beautifully. And it's pretty psychological, and I love that. And I dropped that in during the intro bridge, like well, getting into the bridge and getting into the intro, outro, stuff like that. And it's one of the most haunting things I've ever put in a beat. There's something deeply psychological about it. In the middle of this emotional darkness, the moment of laughter appears. It's not playful, it's more unsettling. Like a memory that doesn't belong anywhere. It hits you in a weird way, almost like innocence colliding with pain. And I love that. It adds a layer that messes with your mind a bit, makes you feel something you did not expect. That laugh symbolizes everything that's been lost. A reminder of better times, or a ghost of something that can never come back. It stands out, and it's subtle, but I'm pretty sure you'll probably catch it. I mean, it's right in the beginning of the intro of the beat, the laugh comes in, and it stays with you. I wanted that moment to feel like emotional whiplash. Like, did I just hear that? Or like, yeah, like, so the distance vocal layers add even more depth. They sound like thoughts you don't even want to deal with. They don't take over, but they're always there in the background. In the bridge, like the stuff we suppress, it's always there, quietly and affecting us. And yeah, and that's what paralysis is. It's not just a beat, it's a psychological experience. The kind of track that doesn't ask for your attention, it demands your emotional honesty. And if you've ever been through real loss or heartbreak, you feel it immediately. It's definitely one of those beats that I'm definitely going to keep forever in my catalogs, and definitely keep it in my stored favorite stuff because it's a really good one. I loved it. It's just everything about it. The verse to the bridge, the chorus, verse, bridge, chorus, instrumental switch ups, then goes right back to the bridge and end. And I love that. And I always do a storytelling type structure all the time, but I plan on switching things up here and there sometimes. But yeah, so now let's get into Evermore. So this beat, Evermore, might be one of the most emotional pieces I've released so far. It opens with a piano melody that's not just there for sound, it's there for feeling. Every note is stretched out like a thought, and that won't leave your head. It doesn't rush. It lets you sit with it. That's intentional. I wanted to feel like the kind of reflection you have late at night when everything's quiet except your mind. From there, I laid a distant vocals. These aren't meant to be front and center. They're like the voice in the back of your head or a memory whispering to you. You can feel them even when you can't fully make out the words. That's what gives the beat its haunting edge. Then you got the cello, the violin, and they're not just randomly placed. I wanted to have the cello and piano, cello and violin mirroring the piano, almost like two people carrying the same pain in different ways. So I structured those two instruments around the piano, and they give the beat a fragile beauty, almost like it's holding itself together emotionally, but barely. It's one of my favorites. I mean, it's definitely one of my favorite beats. Emotionally, it's beautiful, and it's the beat you're hearing in the background right now, and the one that played before I started talking my first segment. So that's Evermore, and yeah, my favorite parts is that there's no. I usually layer ambient layers on top of beats, but this one I didn't even go there. I didn't need to. Nope, no, there's no reason. I wanted it raw and just pure instruments, and So that's what I went with, and that was on purpose. I didn't want to crowd the emotion. I wanted the instruments to stand alone, exposed. Because sometimes the most powerful thing is simplicity. And this beat proves that. You don't need like 20 instruments, 15 instruments to make something. I mean, this literally only has 7 instrumentals to it all. It's very simple, but very effective. And because sometimes the most powerful things is simplicity, you know what I mean? And this beat proves that. There's always something deeply introspective about it. It's cinematic, for sure, but it's also personal. Evermore feels like the kind of track that plays during the end of credits of a life chapter. And the type of song that holds all the things you didn't get to say. It's rap friendly, but also I believe it speaks without needing vocals. Like, I want my beats to speak to you, even without vocals. But it's built to hold space for listeners, whether that's an artist putting lyrics into it or someone just sitting there in their car feeling it. The name Evermore came to me because this isn't just about now, it's about something that stays with you, a feeling that lasts, that kind of emotion you don't move on from, you carry it, you grow with it, and that's Evermore. And Evermore is, yeah, it's a very simple structure, honestly. It's just kick, piano, kick, snare, hi-hat, distant vocals, cello, violin. Is that one more? I'm not sure. I don't remember. I make like 3 beats a week, so I don't remember what I make. But yeah, I need to go back and check. But yeah, it's a very simple structure but effective, and that's Evermore. And yeah, it's very cinematic. And yeah, anyways, that's Evermore. Now I want to move into the next thing I want to talk about is emotional reflection. And this is the part that's personal in some ways, but music's personal to me, so yeah. So for me, beat making isn't just something I do, it's how I survive. It's how I stay kind of sane when life doesn't make sense. I don't just layer sounds, or I layer moments, emotions, memories I can't put into words. Music became that one place where I didn't have to explain myself, it just understood me in a certain way. When things fell apart, let's say in my past with someone, and I didn't argue, I didn't chase, I didn't try to prove anything. I literally just let go. I let the silence say what words never could. But inside I was going through it. Some of the most beautiful melodies I've ever made came from those quiet moments. The nights where everything felt like it was falling apart. But I still opened up my laptop and created anyway. And this is like 3 years ago. I just started making beats here and there, and I mean, I was not the best at it, but I've definitely gotten better at it throughout the years, and looked into music and music theory and figuring out what works and stuff, and I knew exactly what I wanted, but I just couldn't do it. But that's the difference now, is that I can do what I kind of want to do when I make my beats. And that's where That's where Evermore came from. It's not just a cinematic beat, it's a timestamp of their emotional state. Um, the soft piano carrying the weight of the entire track, the cello shadowing every note, the distant vocals sitting in the back like whispers from your past. It's delicate but not weak. It's minimal but full of purpose. It's the kind of beat you don't just hear, you feel. And same thing goes with Paralysis. It's that one hit different. It's darker, more haunting, psychological. I wanted to feel like emotional stillness, that feeling of being trapped in your own thoughts, unable to move forward. The child's laugh wasn't just a sound, it was a contrast. Innocence lays on top of pain. It makes your mind stop for a second and question why it's even there. That was intentional. I wanted to feel psychological, like a memory you didn't expect to relive. So this process has been my therapy. And while others went out to escape pain, I locked myself in the studio and faced it, beat after beat. I wasn't ever chasing fame. I was trying to heal, and I didn't need anyone to believe in me. I just needed to keep showing up and putting in the work. See, and people just called me, oh, it's just another beat maker. Said I pretty much fade out, said I wouldn't last, they didn't hear the structure or the emotion, the discipline behind every single track. I wasn't looping sounds, I was building moments. I do 90%, maybe 100% of it myself, the instrumentals. I might pick up a loop here and there, but it's one or two, if not even zero, every beat. And I think that's where true producers come in, is those who actually make their own stuff. Or you become just another beat maker. And that's what just another beat maker comes in. Because everyone just uses loops most of the time. A lot of the time. I do 90 to 100% myself. That's the difference. And you have to know a little bit about music, but not like entirely a lot. You just need to know the basic key sounds, and you're good to go. Honestly, that's all. But it can be kind of tricky sometimes. But hey, I'm up to the challenge. I enjoy it. But yeah, no one else ever saw the vision first. I never stopped. Now I'm here not because I was lucky, not because someone gave me a handout, but because I took every setback, every no, every silent room, and turned it into music that outlived the moment, if that makes any sense. These beats aren't background noises. They're not just for artists to rap over. They're for listeners who need to feel something real. They're for the people like me who stayed up late, feeling forgotten, and needing a reminder that their story wasn't over yet. Evermore is a symbol of that. It's not just a title, it's a mindset. That pain doesn't get the final word, and we do. Through every melody, we pretty much rise again. And so if you're going through something right now, it just wanted you to hear this. Your pain has a purpose, and if the world doesn't see your worth yet, just keep building, keep going. Let the silence echo through your art. s when you're quiet, it says more than shouting out on the rooftops on social media or anything, because social media is all about who can be the loudest, and I'm not a loud person. I'm a very quiet, in my own world type person. So yeah, let's get to the next thing I want to talk about. So yeah, I want to get into quiet success. It's different. Um, you ever feel like the world's kind of too loud? Everyone's posting, flexing, talking like they already made it, but barely putting in the work behind the scenes. See, that's never been me. I've always been the one in the background, locked in, building in silence. And for a while, I questioned it, honestly, and wondered if staying low key meant I'd be overlooked forever. But truth is, the quiet success hits different. Um, I don't care about trends. I'm not trying to ride a wave. I'm trying to create one, while others are out chasing followers or hyping mid beats. I'm crafting something with actual depth, with structure, with purpose. And honestly, I prefer staying in like on a Friday night or a Saturday, Sunday night with my headphones on. Just like, just making beats, tweaking EQ settings, layering instruments, chasing a feeling over going out to some loud party or going to a bar or swing dancing. And even though how much I love swing dancing, it's just I don't need that, and I'd rather hear this subtle shift of a cello tucked in under a piano melody than hear someone brag about nothing. And yeah, I'm just not the person to really go out and do stuff, and I'd rather sit honestly at my place and just make music and never stop is what I love doing. Sometimes I love, don't get me wrong, I still love playing video games here and there with my friends, and it's a good time. If I'm like done with everything that I need to get done, then I might hop on and play some games with some of my friends for a few hours if I have nothing going on. But yeah, this is therapy for me. This is focus. While people are laughing at the idea of someone just making beats, I'm over here putting together full cinematic experiences. Some of the best music I've ever made came from when I was completely alone. No validation, no distractions, just a hunger and heartbreak in headphones. I don't post every win. I don't need to. The people who pay attention will see it. They feel it in Evermore. They hear it in Paralysis. The pain, the detail, the patience. It's all there. And that's what they call overnight success. For me, that's just result of months and months of unseen effort. People say I'm different. I mean, they do. And I take that as a compliment now. Like, I really do. I don't want to be like anyone else. Even the way I live, I don't want to be like anyone else. I just want to be me and do what I do. And people like it cool, people don't, whatever. But I just want to be me. And Because the truth is, when you actually love this, when you live this, the grind becomes something very sacred to me. It's not for show, it's personal. That's why I don't rush drops. That's why I spend hours fine-tuning a mix that most would never notice. Because I notice because it matters to me. And now the growth is honestly undeniable. Views are up, engagements up, sales are starting, and I still feel like I'm just warming up. I'm not even close to being done yet what I want to do. There's so much to look forward to. So yeah, I'm not shouting about it. I'm showing up every single day. And when it's all said and done, people won't say he's just got lucky. They'll say, wow, he actually earned that. And that's what quiet success looks like. And I always believed being on your own, doing things on your own, without having validation from anyone, from people and stuff, is very important in life. I just don't need it. Like, I know who I am, and I know what I'm doing. I know my expectations in life. I know what I'm want to do. It's very clear to me. And I have some awesome friends that back me up, and kudos and awesome. They're awesome, and thanks to those friends and for being there for me through it all. And yeah, and honestly, I've lost friends the last year or so, and it happens. And that was a friend I was friends for almost like for 7 years, and he just got up and left, and it is what it is. And I used to have a really good friend out in we play games with each other all the time, and he's out in Oregon, and he's a great friend. And yes, you know who I'm talking about. If he's listening. But yeah, it's been a good ride so far, and it's been fun. And yeah. So that pretty much wraps up my third episode of Saul's with this podcast. If you made this far, thank you. Like, seriously. Whether you're an artist, a producer, or someone just passing through, I appreciate you being here. I don't take any of this for granted. Every stream, every message, every person who really listens, that means more than you know. I'm not just sharing beats, I'm sharing pieces of my story. And if even one person feels that, then this is already worth it. Remember, this journey isn't about perfection, and it's about consistency, growth, and making something that means something. Whether you're in a dark place or finally catching your stride, just keep building and keep at it. Don't stop. Don't throw away all those bad habits. Because that's what stops people from success is habits, bad habits of just not wanting to do it, but sometimes you just gotta get up and do it. And don't let anyone tell you you're just another whatever. You define pretty much your own lane. So if this episode hit you in any way, feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, or even share it. And if not, that's cool too. I still be here, locked in, doing what I love. Until next time, stay grounded, stay focused, and keep creating. Saul L, signing off.